everyone, my name is Chelsea and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are checking in on my indie bookstore haul from last year. So on Saturday, it is going to be Indie Bookstore Day, which means we're having another indie book crawl. I did this last year, I did a whole vlog, I will leave it linked down below, but I also, hauled books. Last year we went through 11 different indie bookstores and I was trying to get like one book per bookstore. I went a little bit overboard, but like not too crazy. This year, one store is out and 2 new stores are in, so we actually have 12 bookstores that we're going around to. I think we're doing the same sort of thing as last year. My husband and the kids are coming with us, and last year we did Saturday and Sunday at some of the further away places, and then I did like Monday and Tuesday, I think, at the closer to me places, and so we're gonna do the same thing, but I wanted to check in before we actually do that and see what books did I read? Did I actually get to most of them? Probably not. So yes, like I said, there was 11 bookstores, and while I was trying to get like one book per bookstore, I actually purchased 18 books. So I did go a little bit overboard at some of the places. I have gathered them here, and we're just going to go through them and see what I read, what I didn't, what I thought. So the first bookstore that we went to last year was the Invitation Bookshop. That should be on our list again this year. And I did purchase The Truth According to Ember by Danica Nava. This is a romance. I'm pretty sure it's a rom-com, and it's written by a Native American author with Native American main characters. I have not read this one yet, but I really do want to. I think I tried to put it on a TBR last year, and it just didn't happen. And right now I'm mood reading, but I'm also reading for the Magical Readathon, so I definitely want to get to this. I just haven't yet. The next bookstore we went to was Sinclair Inlet. I don't believe this bookstore is on the book crawl this year. I will have to double check, but I purchased The Wishing Game by Meg Schaefer. Now, I will say this bookstore had a lot more like non-fiction things for the area, a lot of literary fiction sort of stuff, so it was harder for me to find a book while I was there because I do believe this is a little bit more literary fiction, but it's also sort of fantastical. I don't know much else. I have not read it yet either, but I should pick this up. The next bookstore that I went to was Salmonberry Books, and I actually purchased 3 books at that bookstore. I can't remember if there was like a slight discount if you purchased a certain amount. It might have been, because I also got a t-shirt from them, which I absolutely love. I wear it all the time. It's like purple with a girl on it. You've probably seen me wear it on this channel. It's not this one, but I did purchase 3 books. So the first one, and the main reason that I was very excited to be there, is they had an author signing books on that Saturday at their location, who was Aaron Scott. So I picked up A Body in 3B. I have read this one. I gave it 4 stars. It's the start of like a murder mystery type of series, but our main character can also see ghosts. It gave me very like Only Murders in the Building vibes, except for she could see ghosts. She's in this place, this apartment complex that she's living in. She has this like ghost best friend type of situation. There's a different guy here who's not a ghost that she sort of has a crush on, and then there is a body in one of the like apartment buildings, and she's trying to figure out what happened because of ghosts and things like that. I really enjoyed this one. I think it was a very good start to the series, and I definitely want more. But while I was there, I picked up 2 other things. I have Bloody Rose by Nicholas Eames. This is the second book for the Band series, which the first book is Kings of the Wild. I absolutely love that one. 5 out of 5 stars. The thing is, they are a little bit chunky, and they're very fantasy, but also sort of tongue-in-cheek D&D, like it's very intriguing. This is gonna be following like a separate sort of spin-off characters and things like that. I loved book 1. I really do need to get into this. And then the last one I picked up there, I also did not read yet. Didn't read Bloody Rose yet. Didn't read this one either. Pines by Blake Crouch. So this is like the book series that Wayward Pines, the TV show, is based on, which I also have not read yet either. This one's much thinner, and I've definitely considered picking this up for multiple different things in the last like year, and I just haven't. And again, I think it was because I was trying to do too much TBR stuff last year, and this never really fit a prompt, but I definitely want to try it out. The next store that I went to was Ballast Book Co. I purchased 2 books there, mainly because I purchased this one, which I had already read. I read it as an arc. And I just absolutely loved it. It's a middle grade fantasy. So this is Snow White and the Dragon or Sleeping Beauty and the Seven Dwarfs by Kim Bussing. This is the second book in this like princess swap series. There was 3 that were released last year. I've read them all. I've really enjoyed them. This one I gave 4 and the other 2 in the series I gave 5. I just really love like the gradient edges and things. So this one I had technically already read before I went to the store, but I saw it there and could not help myself. And then I also picked up A Harvest of Hearts by Andrea Eames. I have not read this, but it was absolutely gorgeous. I had not heard of this prior to going into the store, and it was just on one of their tables. And it's in the beloved tradition of Howl's Moving Castle, a whimsical, unforgettable story of fantastic adventure, common sense, and the power of love to overcome the greatest of obstacles. I need to pick it up. Then we went to Browser's bookshop and I picked up Strange Pictures, which I have read. I gave this 4 stars, and I also read Strange Houses last year, and then this year I already read Strange Buildings. Like, I'm fully caught up on this author's English work now. I really enjoyed it, but this is another one of those things that I had never heard of until I went to this indie book crawl, and it was face out on their shelves, and I mean like bright neon green, and there's pictures and things in the middle. Yes, these are very mysterious. Like, I don't want to say thriller as much, it's more mysterious. Just like weird, strange things happening, and the author sort of explains what their deductions are, and like you can have deductions too, but I really do enjoy these. Every so often they lean a little bit into like ableism for some of their stuff, but I didn't feel like that was as big of a piece in Strange Buildings as it was in like Strange Houses. But yeah, so I did enjoy these. The next one that I picked up at Orca Books, and that was Interior Chinatown by Charles Yu. I read this last year, November or December. It was during the Clear Your Shit readathon. I gave this 3 stars. I was very excited to read this because a lot of it is written sort of like a script. The thing is, I was wanting it to be more like a script. It was very much more like using the script format and the Chinatown setting, and our main character is like generic Asian man, but he really wants to be like a kung fu guy. They didn't lean into the actual like TV show thing as much. It just definitely felt more literary fiction, allegory type of thing. And I was just wanting more from it. So this was just something that like I went in with different expectations. There's a TV show based on this though that I am still curious about. Then we went to A Good Book. This is where we started with like just me and Elliot, and I purchased 3 things from A Good Book. The first thing I purchased was A Fellowship of Bakers and Magic by Jay Penner. This is a cozy fantasy that is like baking and stuff, like a baking competition. I did not read this one yet. I definitely need to. I also picked up The Story of Gumluck the Wizard by Adam Rex. This is a children's like chapter book thing, but I absolutely love this one. I did read it, 5 out of 5 stars. I love the fact that we have the illustrations and Gumluck the Wizard, and we have like this talking raven. There's 2 more books in the series that I definitely need to pick up. I absolutely love this. But then I also picked up A Blind Date with a Book. And I did a little video on this as well. I'll leave it linked down below, but I got The Mirage by Matt Ruff. I hated this book. I picked it up because it was supposed to be like sci-fi, alternate realities, and like, yes, I guess it was. I DNF'd it pretty early. But it was like, what if 9/11 didn't happen to us, but instead the white people did a tragedy over in the Middle East? And it left a really bad taste in my mouth. Like, it really was written to like disparage that stuff over there. It was very misogynistic and Islamophobic and things. And like, I didn't even get more than like maybe 30 pages in. I could not. Not my thing. And no, I would not necessarily consider it sci-fi alternate reality stuff. Like, no, that was not what I signed up for. Then I went to the Lakewood bookstore and I did purchase 2 books there, which I have not read at all, I know. So the first one I picked up was A Dead and Stormy Night by Stephanie Holmes. This is an indie book that I have had on my radar for forever. I think I actually have the ebook version as well, but I love this cover, and I definitely need to pick it up. It is about a woman who works at a bookstore, and she is going blind. The author does have a degenerative eye disease, and I think the main character in here does as well. And characters start coming out of the books. Like, the villains of the books start coming out, like Moriarty and Heathcliff, and I think the Raven from Poe's Raven. But it's a why choose romance like that, and I'm just super, super intrigued by this. I definitely need to read it. I also picked up Floating Hotel by Grace Curtis. I had never heard of this before I saw it in the store. And the funny thing is I have not read it yet, even though I love sci-fi. But I have started to see this being talked about a little bit on like Instagram and things. Like something that I had never heard anybody talk about. I've started to see it now, and people have been mentioning it's like a cozy sci-fi, and I'm like, you know what? I really need to pick this up now, because I picked it up because I was intrigued by it. But now I'm actually hearing a little bit more, and I'm even more intrigued. Then I went to Grit City Books and I picked up How to Steal a Galaxy by Beth Revis. This is the second book in the whatever this series is. It starts with Full Speed to a Crash Landing. I read the entire trilogy last year, so this is book 2. I also picked up book 3. I really, really enjoyed these. I do think they should have been one book together and just been one whole narrative, because I absolutely loved the way it ended in book 3 more than like how we stopped in book 1 and book 2, knowing you needed to continue. But I really, really love these. They're sci-fi, they're heisty in a way. There's a little bit of romance. I would actually love more in this series, in this world. But so I did read this. Then the next bookstore I stopped at was High Voltage, which is also a record store, but I don't have record stuff, so I did pick up 2 books that I have not read, but they were both middle grade, witchy, magical sort of things, and I definitely need to get to them. So the first one I have here is The Marvelers by Danielle Clayton. I think I talked about this one recently in a like 10 books that I want to read by the end of the year, or things that I think are going to be 5 stars, something like that. I need to get into this because I have been really loving middle grade. Last year, my middle grade reading was like amazing. And this is like middle grade magic school. Like I need more of that in my life. So I did pick that up. I need to read it. And then the next one I have is Witchlings by Claribel A. Ortega. This one has witches, and I think they're supposed to go through some sort of test to see what coven they're in, but they don't really get a coven, so they have to come together and do some sort of trial to be their own coven. I don't know. It sounds so, so good. Right up my alley. Again, I need to read this. And then the last bookstore that I went to was King's Books, and I picked up No Gods, No Monsters by Cadwell Turnbull. I have not read this one either. I know. The reason I picked up this one, because King's Books was absolutely huge. Bookshelves, super, super tall, huge building. But I had read the like short story collection by Jordan Peele, like he was the editor. I can't remember this one here. And this author had a story in there, and that was one of my favorite stories of the whole collection, and it made me want to read more by him. So I did pick this up, not really knowing much else about it. One October morning, Lena gets the news that her brother has been shot and killed by Boston cops, but what looks like a case of police brutality soon reveals something much stranger. Monsters are real, and they want everyone to know it. Yeah, so very fantastical. I really, really loved the story that I read by him in that other thing. So that's why I picked this up, even though I haven't read it yet. Okay, so out of the 18 books that I purchased from 11 different indie bookstores last year during the indie book crawl, I've read 7. That's not the best ratio, but it is like 39% of the books that I purchased during that I read, or at least tried, because obviously I DNF'd the Mirage. But I mean, I could do better. Right now it's Wednesday and we're going out on the indie book crawl on Saturday, so I doubt I'm gonna do better right now. I'm trying to finish some of my stuff for the Magical Readathon currently, but I do think I need to maybe put some of these on a priority, because I was sort of planning on doing the same thing this year, visiting 12 bookstores and trying to get like 1 book per bookstore while we're there. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, I still have like 11 things left from last year. So let me know if there's any books that you saw currently that you think I should prioritize, because I definitely need to get on those. And that is going to be it for me today. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up to let me know. Subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more videos. I do have videos coming out Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So I will see you then. Bye.